Elon Musk's plan to colonize Mars. The $10 trillion plan to colonize Mars has started taking shape. Will Elon Musk's incredible plan be successful? Let's find out. Colonizing Mars may have seemed like science fiction a decade ago, but it is turning into reality very quickly, thanks to this man, Elon Musk. Ever since human civilization has existed, humans have built incredible structures on Earth. We have not only been able to discover the depths of the ocean, but we have also been able to set foot on the moon. And we have even built a small temporary colony in Earth's orbit, known as the International Space Station. However, after the incredible space race between the US and the Soviet Union, things started to cool down and the focus shifted away from space travel. It came to a point where NASA and other space agencies kind of gave up on their plans to land humans on other planets. This was primarily because of the extraordinary costs, the incredible risks, and negligible returns associated to such an endeavour. Then, in 2002, Elon Musk emerged as a successful tech millionaire with a seemingly impossible mission on his mind. The story of Elon's Mars mission goes back to 2002, when he had just received around $165 million as his share from the sale of PayPal to eBay. Unlike other people who suddenly become super rich, Elon did not indulge in luxury. He did not buy a luxury yacht or set his eyes on a private island. Instead, he focused on things that could really make a difference to humans. He identified two key things that could ensure the survival of our civilization into the foreseeable future. The first was the development of electric vehicles and renewable energy to ensure that life on Earth was sustainable. The second thing that he realized after studying human history was that every human civilization was destroyed by some catastrophic event on Earth. He realized that in order for our civilization to have a greater chance of survival, it had to become multi-planetary. In one of his interviews, Elon said that while he was contemplating the idea of space travel and building a colony on Mars, he went to NASA's website to see NASA's future plans, and he was surprised to see that NASA did not have any plans to land humans on any planet. This is when Elon took it upon himself to bring space travel into the headlines once again. Initially, Elon was totally aware of the fact that space travel was not cheap, and he thought that SpaceX was probably going to be a failure. However, his vision was to give it a shot so that the space agencies of various governments around the world, such as NASA, could come back into spotlight and maybe they could get more funding from the governments for their future endeavours. Elon's initial idea was to try and send a small greenhouse to Mars, packed with dehydrated nutrient gel that could be rehydrated to grow small houseplants. It was kind of pointless, as it could never have really resulted in humans landing on Mars, and at its best, it could have just been a technology demonstrator. However, while working on this idea, Elon Musk and his team at SpaceX realised that the real reason why travelling to space and colonising other planets was not feasible was the fact that space travel was insanely expensive. The cheapest US-made rocket used to cost around $65 million, and the Russian rockets used to cost around $20 million at the time. To get to Mars, the total cost of a one-sided mission would be well over $100 million, and the rockets will be destroyed as well. This is when Elon Musk and his SpaceX team started to solve the first obstacle in colonising other planets, which was the insanely high cost of space travel. Within a few years, SpaceX successfully developed reusable rockets, bringing down the cost of space travel several-fold. Once the reliable reusable rocket technology was developed, the mission to Mars started looking like a possibility. According to Elon Musk's plans, SpaceX is to establish a city of around 1 million people on Mars by 2050. This gives SpaceX less than 30 years to complete the mission. There are two major challenges that SpaceX currently faces. The first one is that of technology, and the second one is that of finances. SpaceX is trying to overcome the technological challenge by developing the Starship rocket. It will be the biggest rocket ever built. Known as the Starship, the mega rocket that will take humans to Mars has been under development since 2018. This two-stage rocket ship consists of a huge rocket at the bottom and the Starship itself on top. The Starship rocket will be 122 meters tall, and it will weigh 150 tons on its completion. This massive rocket will be 3.5 times as powerful as the Saturn V rocket that was previously the most powerful rocket ever built. Once Starship is developed, it will take humans to Mars. According to Elon Musk, it can be as early as 2024. But if it's not, he is highly confident that it will be in 2026. The problem with going to Mars is that as both Earth and Mars orbit around the Sun, their distance keeps changing throughout the year. While the distance between the two planets can be as far as 250 million miles, the two planets do come as close as 33.9 million miles every 26 months. And that is the time when SpaceX plans to launch Starship to Mars. This will reduce the travel time to get to Mars. However, it will still take around 6 months to get there. Providing that everything goes well, the first humans who land on Mars will have to immediately start working on producing fuel for their journey back to Earth. Despite its large size, Starship won't be able to take the return fuel with itself. It will pretty much burn all its fuel by the time it will land on Mars. This means that the first inhabitants on Mars will have around 26 months of time to produce enough fuel for their return journey, before the two planets come close to each other again. Researchers at SpaceX are already trying to figure out ways to use ice and carbon dioxide present on Mars to produce deep cryo methalox, the fuel used in Starship. The first human mission to Mars will surely be a great spectacle that will set the tone for space exploration in the coming decades. The failure of this mission will put brakes to any further efforts to colonize planets for decades and possibly centuries to come. On the other hand, the success of this mission will mean that SpaceX will be launching hundreds more rockets in the subsequent years, every time the Earth is close to Mars. Thousands and eventually millions of humans will be taken to the Red Planet. Elon Musk himself may also visit Mars during his lifetime. The first settlements on Mars will start from a few laboratories, but they will gradually expand into a small town, and ultimately it will expand into a city that would house 1 million people. Now, let's take a look at the other challenge that Elon Musk is facing while trying to colonize Mars: the financial challenge. According to estimates, Elon's mission to colonize Mars will cost anywhere between $100 billion to $10 trillion. The actual amount will be somewhere in the middle. SpaceX is already developing the Starlink system, which is a low-latency broadband internet system. It is estimated to bring tens of billions of dollars in revenue in the near future. Other than that, SpaceX also expects to earn huge amounts of money from space tourism and by launching satellites for various countries into orbit. Elon Musk, who is now the richest man on the planet, has pretty much made it the mission of his life to make humans a multi-planetary species. Therefore, if SpaceX ever finds itself short of funds, Elon Musk would not hesitate to put his own money into the company to make it succeed. Also, as SpaceX continues to develop the rockets, the Starship, and other technologies required for Mars travel, more and more investors would come on board to make this incredible mission a reality. In the end, it has to be said that this incredibly expensive endeavour may just prove to be the most important mission in human history. Who knows, in 30 to 40 years from now, you may just be buying a ticket to Mars. If Elon Musk's Mars mission becomes a success, would you be brave enough to leave Earth and take a trip to Mars? Let us know by leaving a comment below. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon to stay updated whenever we release a new video. Other than that, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.